behind starter John O'Betts. In this race, Darren Mauser drives the 8 Email. Darren Mauser driving 8 Email. They're at the gate and moving through the turn. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing on the far outside. Marie Claire is going to the front with Hollywood Madam. Rushing up on the rail, driving up on the far outside. Siren Serena there down the backstretch. Cincy Marge is in the fourth. Late Lever Chili. Next in line along the rail comes Amazon Sabra, parked to the quarter. Comes Email up on the outside, and the trailer is Enchanting Sabra. As they move by the opening quarter-mile pole, they're all on gate here in 29 and 3. They're off that top turn and racing past the stands. The Chestnut filly leads Marie Claire by 2. Closer second comes Hollywood Madam. After that, Siren Serena to third around the turn. Cincy Marge is fourth. Chili is fifth. Amazon Sabra is sixth. Email is seventh. Enchanting Sabra is the trailer as they move through the paddock turn with Marie Claire leading the way by 2 lengths. Hollywood Madam is second. They're at the half in 101 and 2. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. 7 are pretty well grouped together. Marie Claire by 2.5. Hollywood Madam is second. Siren Serena is third. We'll see if Cincy Marge has got a shot from here. As they move in to 3/4, that was probably a pun intended. Up top, it's still Marie Claire who continues to lead the way. Hollywood Madam is second. Moving by 3/4 in 131 and 1. Moving around the far turn. Driving up on the outside. From the 3-hole up to challenge is Siren Serena as they move to the head of the stretch. Marie Claire continues to lead the way. Siren Serena circles up on the rim second. Along the rail, Hollywood Madam is third. 3 fillies are across the track vying for command. And as they hit the wire, it looks like Chip Noble's going to get it with the 2, Hollywood Madam. Second non-betting race at the gate. Nuclear Rhythm and Mike Wilder. 2, It's a Mystery to Me and Ron Carbone. 3, Foxy Dragon and Dave Hawk. 4, Queen of Tucson and Chip Noble. 5, Hilda Highlight and Bradley Hanners. 6, Classy Durquette and Charlie Conrad. 7 is Abe's Delight and Jim Daly. Number 8 is Bunny Webbett and Scott McQuinn. Field is in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Queen of Tucson between horses takes the lead. Middle of the racetrack, Hilda Highlight up on the far outside. Abe's Delight, they're down the backstretch. Toward the rail, Nuclear Rhythm is in the fourth. After that comes It's a Mystery to Me, moving to the quarter-mile pole. Foxy Dragon, followed by Classy Durquette, and Bunny Webbett is the Twailer. They're on their way to the opening quarter-mile pole. 3 horses are across the track vying for command. Hilda Highlight in 29 and 3 gets the quarter call. Moving past the stands, Hilda Highlight on top by a head. Driving up on the outside, second and challenging and now taking over command. Abe's Delight. Abe's Delight a length and a half. Hilda Highlight second. Queen of Tucson third. Off stride momentarily. Just one quick little skipperoo was Nuclear Rhythm as they move around the clubhouse turn. It's a Mystery to Me is next. After that to the outside, Foxy Dragon, Classy Durquette, and Bunny Webbett. 1:02 down the backstretch. Plenty of action here. Nuclear Rhythm driving up on the outside now. Gets the lead from Mike Wilder. Draws off by 2. Queen of Tucson on I-10. Drives up on the outside second. Abe's Delight quickly gives way third. It's a Mystery to Me moving up on the outside steadily to fourth. Underway, middle of the racetrack, Foxy Dragon. Dropping back, Hilda Highlight. Bunny Webbett on the outside. Classy Durquette along the rail in 129 3. Around the far turn, length and a half, Nuclear Rhythm. On her heels in second, Queen of Tucson. Moving up on the outside, It's a Mystery to Me as they straighten away. Nuclear Rhythm being set down for the drive. Flanked on the rail by Queen of Tucson. It's a Mystery to Me's closing up on the outside to get the lead. It's a Mystery to Me in front. .46 Logs and number 8 Matata scratched. Often pacing from between horses, Gentina Can Win is going to the front. Moving up on the outside, Falcons Dasher to second as they move down the backstretch to the turn. Quickly leaving from the far outside, 46 Logs to third as they move to the quarter-mile pole. Brash and Sassy, the late lever, swings in there fourth. Nothing yet from Lauren. She had the rail, couldn't use it, gets out of there fifth. After that comes Sugar, Plum, Fairy, and Streak Blonde. And they open up here in 31 seconds flat. Off that top turn and racing past the stands. All on gate heading to the 3/8. Moving along comfortably, Gentina Can Win by 2. Quickly on the outside, Brash and Sassy attacking second. Falcons Dasher along the rail third. 46 Logs staying in fourth. Moving up on the outside, Streak Blonde to fifth around the clubhouse turn. To this point, Lauren is fifth, and Sugar Plum Fairy yet to find out what under her pillow, and they're at the half in 102 1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Still in command of the field, Gentina Can Win. Jumping off stride. Past the half and before the 3/4, that was Brash and Sassy. Moving up on the outside, 46 Logs as they move into 3 panels with about a 5-length lead, but diminishing slightly. Gentina Can Win with a rush on the outside, 46 Logs. Off stride after the 3/4. That was Falcons Dasher, moving by 3 of them in 130 4. Field straightens away. Off stride, head of the stretch, 3 Sugar Plum Fairy. Off stride, head of the stretch, Falcons Dasher. Racing through the stretch. Gentina Can Win, living up to her name. 46 Logs second. Streak Blonde will finish third. Field for tonight's fourth and final non-betting race at the gate and moving up here on Big Brothers and Big Sisters night. More on that later. We also have the Shriners here with us tonight. 1 She's a Dear Lady in Jeff Smith. 2 Sarah's Elf, Chip Noble. 3 Mighty Tucson, Dan Ader. 4 First Country Star, driver change, Jim Daly. Number 5, Caviar Carolyn Lynn. 6 Fax Phone, Charlie Conrad. 7 is Clever Samantha and Brad Hanners. 8 Absolute Sage, Mike Wilder in the sulky. Non-betting 2-year-old, fillies. Yes, I did. I went over and I introduced myself to her, and I said, I am the track lunatic. She goes, I've heard that. She said, I said, how you doing? She goes, underwater. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. On the far outside, Clever Samantha is going to take the lead. Sarah's Elf is along the rail. Misty Tucson settles in there third. Followed up on the outside by First Country Star. Late lever, Caviar Carolyn. Even further out comes Absolute Sage, the rail filly. She's a Dear Lady. And the trailer to the turn is Fax Phone, scrambling for position to the quarter-mile pole. Driving away on top from the outside. Here comes, by the opening quarter, in 30 4/5, Caviar Carolyn. Caviar Carolyn now gets the lead. Driving away on top by about 2 lengths. Past the stands into second. Clever Samantha along the rail. Sarah Zelf third. She's a Dear Lady comes to the outside, racing well out into the middle of the racetrack. Misty Tucson is next, followed by First Country Star. Absolute Sage and Fax Phone. A little bit rough on the outside. Nearing the half-mile pole was the one. She's a Dear Lady. Reaching the half in 102 and 1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Bouncing right along, Caviar Carlin on top by 2.5. Down the backstretch, here comes She's a Dear Lady, settled in the stride once again. Clever Samantha closer third. Sarah Zell fourth. Dropping back into fifth, Misty Tucson. First Country Star, Absolute Sage is up on the outside, and Fax Foam as they move by 3/4. Caviar Carlin is there in 132 and 3. Moving around the far turn. The one still very rough on the outside. Clever Samantha's fighting back along the rail. Sarah Zelf is a closer fourth as the field moves into the stretch. Caviar Carlin continues to lead the way by about 2.5 lengths. Caviar Carlin has the lead. Driving up on the outside, Sarah Zelf with a rush. Sarah Zelf is going to blow right on by. Sarah Zelf, Caviar Carlin second. Dan Eder comes on third with Misty Tucson. Number 1, Nuclear Field. Owned and driven by Larry Roberts, 2, Lakewater Bird. Owned by Eldon Spearman, driven tonight by Brad Hanners. Number 3, Huckleberry Finn, owned by Rosalind Fisher. Mark Winters, the reinsman. 4, Siren Surprise, owned by Ruth Carroll. Dan Ader will be aboard. 5, Tin Man DJ, owned by John Legros and Sam Brown with Jim Daly in the bike. Number 6, Gibby's Boy, owned by Gertrude Morgan, Jack Morgan. 7 is Birch Brother Ernie, owned by Betty Jean Jordan with Jack Daly. 8 is You Dreamer, owned by Nell Blue with Ryan Holton. Number 9, Mad Arch Lag, owned by Gary Bobo and Star Country Stable. Darren Mauser will be in the sulky. Field for the first, second race, scratch number 2, moving on up injured. Scratch the 2, moving on. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing with Siren Surprise taking the lead. Tin Man DJ moving up on the outside second. Birch Brother Ernie is off stride. He's the trailer down the backstretch. Siren Surprise moves away on top. Tin Man DJ, 2-hole Duck and Tuck. Lakewater Bird is in the third. Around the top turn, Huckleberry Finn to fourth. Nuclear Field gaining from fifth. Up on the outside, Matt Tart's Lag, Gibby's Boy. 2 more lengths to You Dreamer. Far back, Birch Brother Ernie. 27 and 4, they're in parade past the stands. Siren Surprise is there by 1.5 lengths. Tin Man DJ on his heels in second. Lakewater Bird standing in there third. Driving up on the outside, Matt Tart's Lag to fourth. Nuclear Field in tight quarters fifth. Around the clubhouse turn, Huckleberry Finn to sixth. You Dreamers up on the outside in seventh. Gibby's Boy is eighth along the rail. Ninth and last, Birch Brother Ernie. They're at the half in 59. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Siren Surprise by 2. Picking up the chase, Tin Man DJ second. Closer third, Lakewater Bird. Long Mile, Matt Tart's Lag to fourth. Huckleberry Finn skimming the rail in fifth. 3-1 on the outside, Nuclear Field to sixth. Gibby's Boy seventh. Gap of 2 lengths, You Dreamer. And the trailer is Birch Brother Ernie moving by 3/4. Could this be the night for Siren Surprise? He has opened up 4 lengths in 127 and 4. Moving around the far turn. Siren Surprise on top by 5. Trying to come back in second, Tin Man DJ. Toward the rail, Lakewater Bird. They're into the stretch. Siren Surprise being set down for the drive. Tin Man DJ rolls up on the outside. He'll try to make a race of it here in the final 70 yards. Siren Surprise, Tin Man DJ, not quite good enough. Siren Surprise in front. Siren Surprise, 3-year-old brown coat by Nuclear Siren out of Expensive Habit. Owned in Chillicothe by Ruth Carroll. Driven and trained coast to coast by Dan Ader. Covering the mile here in 158 and 3 to establish a lifetime best. Number 4, Siren Surprise, the unofficial winner. 9, Mad Arts Lag was third, and number 2, Lakewater Bird was fourth. For Jim Sweeney from Thomas W. Ruff and Company. And Missing Detail will be driven by Bill Levering, NCS Healthcare, assisted by Mike Wilder. 1997, Scioto Downs, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, CEO Driver Challenge. They're in behind starter John Betts. And there they go. They're often pacing in the 4. Sir Stoney, Andrea Camburn, Bob Harper off stride. Quickly taking the lead from between horses, Dance Craig and Greg Chesko. Driving up on the far outside, Midnight Scooter and Jim Sweeney. They're very wide to the first turn. Quickly on the rail, Dirty Dirk with Carl Watson. They're away nicely. They'll look to stay in there for a while. In fact, they're not going to come on from between horses as they make their way to the first quarter. Stepping off this first panel in 30 3/5. They're off that top turn and racing past the stands. Out on top, Dance Craze, Greg Chesko leading away by a head. Quickly, though, coming up on the outside to take over command, Dirty Dirk, Carl Watson assisted by Jim Ulrich. Along the rail, third, Broadway Flame and Kelly Callan. Still on the outside, Midnight Scooter and Jim Sweeney. Around the clubhouse turn, Missing Detail for Bill Levering. And after the break at the start, Sir Stoney and Andrea Camburn are the trailers. They're at the half in 102. They straighten out down the backstretch. Dirty Dirk has opened up about a 6-length lead. Carl Watson and Star Bank, the representative, continue to show their heels to the field. Dance Craze picks it up a little bit now for Greg Chesko. Followed in third by Broadway Flame for Kelly Cowan. Now moving up on the far outside, Missing Detail. Bill Leverton is absolutely flying into contention here as they race by 3/4. Dirty Dirk is all in, sweeping to the front on the outside. Missing Detail by 3/4 in 134 2. This is one to watch when he races pari-mutually in his next start. Field moves to the head of the stretch. Missing Detail, Bill Leverton have got a commanding lead. Moving up on the far outside as they make their way through the head of the stretch. Missing Detail continues to lead the way. Closing up on the outside, Broadway Flame. Deep stretch. It's Missing Detail and Bill Levering into the wire. Kelly Cowan will finish second. Carl Watson third. Here's a field for the second betting race. This is a betting race. 1, Finally Friday, Doug Routsong. 2, Moving On Up, Scratched. 3, Priminetta and Dan Ader. Number 4, Scent of a Macho. Brett Merkel will be aboard. 5, Laney's Flight and Ty Van Roden. 6, Cammy Hill, Del S. Miller. 7, Flyaway Sue, Jody Essig. 8, Chase and Jenna Ron Steck. 9, Bring a Little Jingle, Dave Hawk in the sulky. Scratch the 2, 6 minutes till post. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Priminetta takes the lead. Son of a Macho between horses. There goes Flyaway Sue to engage the leaders up on the outside. Flyaway Sue just a little bit rough, but is now being taken off this speed duel by Jody Essig and will race in to be third. Around the top turn, Finally Friday is fourth. After that, Laney's Flight, 2 more lengths, Cammy Hill. Chase and Jenna and the 9 bring a little jingle. They open up here 27-1, and that will jingle some bells as they speed off that quarter-mile pole, race in front of the grandstand, head of the half mile. Son of a Macho is there by 2 lengths. Priminetta is now the stalker in second. The favorite is third. Flyaway Sue. Finally, Friday is racing fourth. Laney's Flight looks to flush her from fifth. Cammy Hill is next, followed by Chase and Jenna and Bring a Little Jingle. No action here at the half-mile pole. Brent Merkel bouncing right along with Scent of a Macho. They're at the half and 57-4. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Scent of a Macho leads the way. Flyaway Sue comes to the outside second. Priminetta will have to find more along the pylons in third. Finally, Friday driving up on the outside. Laney's Flight, middle of the racetrack, saving ground, Cammy Hill. Chase and Jenna and Bring a Little Jingle. As they race by 3/4, Son of a Macho is there in 127-1. Moving around the far turn, Son of a Macho a tight length. Cocked, locked, and ready to rock and ready to come like a pocket rocket. Flyaway Sue off the turn in the stretch. They're on their way home, and the drivers have gone to the whip. Along the rail, Son of a Macho. Flyaway Sue on the outside is looking her right in the eye, but will she go by? Not tonight. Son of a Macho, Flyaway Sue, and finally Friday third, 158-1. Here's a winner of race 2, Scent of a Macho. 3-year-old bay filly by Set the Trap out of Peekaboo Katie. Out in Dublin by Keith Noble, driven and trained coast to coast by Brett Merkel. Covering the mile here in 158-1. Lifetime best for 4, Scent of a Macho. Result of tonight's second race official. Next post, 14 minutes away, 8:18. Mike Wilder driving 6 My Quota. The exacta 23.80. The exacta 23.80. The try $80 even. Lullaby, owned by Spring Mill Venture with Dan Ader. 2 Am Laughing, 2-year-old filly owned and driven by Charlie Conrad. 3 Get Along Gretchen, owned by Virgil and Linda Hensley Hall with Dave Hawk. Number 4 Moonlight Sammy, owned by J.D. Burnett and Arnold Sabin Estate with Chip Noble. 5 is Love's Image, owned by Robert Hensler with Bob Harper. 6 My Quota, owned by Frank Reinhardt, late driver change to Mike Wilder. 7 is Kiss Me Sam, owned by Sam Noble Jr. with Jim Daly. 8 is She's a Radio Flyer, owned by Charles and Christine Blankenship with Brad Hanners. 9 is Easy Later, owned by John McDonough with Chris Justice. And number 10 is Luxinja, owned by Jack Swagler and Arthur Apking. Darren Mauser will be in the sulky. Field for the third, 5 minutes till post. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Moonlight Sammy takes the lead. Love's Image between horses. Rushing up on the far outside, She's a Radio Flyer. They're down the backstretch. Goodnight Lullaby is in the fourth, followed by the 2-year-old Am Laughing to fifth. The favorite Get Along Gretchen is 6. She comes to the outside. Second tier horse Luxinja, followed by My Quota. 2 more lengths to Kiss Me Sam. Easy Later is the trailer. By the opening quarter, a sharp 27-3. Fillies for race 3 drive on past the stands. Moonlight Sammy's there by 2. Here's Get Along Gretchen being hustled up on the outside. She's up to challenge. Along the rail, Love's Image is third. She's a Radio Flyer in fourth. Goodnight Lullaby can't go on from fifth. Am Laughing is sixth. Luxinja is seventh along the rail. My Quota is eighth. Kiss Me Sam on the outside, ninth. Easy Later is 10th. With his head down in 56-3, Chip Noble is taking no prisoners in here. Flying off the 5/8, heading to 3/4. Moonlight Sammy bouncing along under confident handling. Moonlight Sammy leads the way. Love's Image to second. She's a Radio Flyer third. Get Along Gretchen, Game on the outside fourth. Goodnight Lullaby fifth. Am Laughing up on the outside. Kiss Me Sam looks to close. Look Sinja can't do enough. After that, it's My Quota and Easy Later and 125 and 4. Moving around the far turn. 3 parts of a length for the tiring pace setter Moonlight Sammy. In between horses, Love's Image. Get Along Gretchen, parked every step of the mile, is up the challenge. This one is wide open here. Get Along Gretchen. Far outside, Kiss Me Sam with a rush. Ding Dong battle going here. Moonlight Sammy's fought and back. Kiss Me Sam on the outside gets the lead. Scratch number 5, Flashy Message, and scratch number 6, She's a Royal Fitch out of the 4th. 10th race, number 5, Emma W. The driver is Brad Hanners. 10th race, 5, Emma W. The driver will be Brad. Here's the field for the 4th. Start of the early pick 3, 1 Crown Time Patriot, owned by Esther Crownover with Dan Ader. 2, Joshua's Legacy, owned by Milo Condit with Ron Steck. 3, Night Manager, owned by Barbara Hughes and James Deagle with David Myers. 4, Star Score, owned by Dale and Gail Franklin, along with the driver, William Mount Pleasant. 5 is scratched. 6 is scratched. 7 is Oak Lawn Carrot, owned and driven by Jeff Dennis. And number 8 is Hilltopper's Grace, owned by John F. and John J. Foster. Jack Daly will be in the sulky. Trotters for the 4th, start of the pick 3. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and trotting. Off stride on the far outside. Hilltopper's Grace. Night Manager quickly gets the racetrack. Night Manager, Crown Time Patriot in the second, followed by Joshua's Legacy to third. Oak Lawn Carrot is fourth. After that, it's Star Score fifth. Quickly catching stride, Hilltopper's Grace, but the favorite is on the run. Night Manager is off stride. Benefiting Crown Time Patriot is there by a head. Here's Joshua's Legacy moving up on the outside, a challenge as they move by the opening quarter in 30 2/5. Field of trotters racing past the stands. Joshua's Legacy has moved away from Crown Time Patriot. Closer third, long shot Oak Lawn Carrot. After that, Star Score to fourth. Hilltopper's Grace is fifth. Night Manager with about 15 to make up. Around the clubhouse turn to the half-mile pole. Joshua's Legacy continues to lead the way. Crown Time Patriot second by a length and a half. Star Score comes to the outside. Saving ground, Oak Lawn Carrot. Hilltopper's Grace, Night Manager, 1 2/5 down the backstretch. Quickly drawing off by 4, Joshua's Legacy. Crown Time Patriot grinding in their second. Living on the outside, Star Score to third. Hilltopper's Grace, after the early break, is back into contention. Saving ground still, Oak Lawn Carrot and Night Manager. No room at the end for him tonight. Racing by 3/4 in a fast 129 3. Ron Steck leads away Joshua's Legacy. Moving up on the outside, Star Score a closer second. Crown Time Patriot punchless in the pocket third. On the far outside, Hilltopper's Grace. Oak Lawn Carrot is fifth. 5 are alive in the drive. Joshua's Legacy. In between horses, Star Score, Hilltopper's Grace, and Crown Time Patriot. In hand and in command, Joshua's Legacy. Finishing second, Star Score. Maybe the one, Crown Time Patriot third. Here comes Joshua's Legacy, a 5-year-old brown son of Gene's Legacy out of Natchitoches, owned in Delaware, Ohio, and trained there by Milo Condit, driven by Ron Steck. Trotting them out in a lifetime best, 159 3. 2, Joshua's Legacy, the winner of the 4th. The 2-4 exacta, $67.40. Windows are open on the 5th. 22,700 in the twin trifecta carryover. Post time will be in 14 minutes at 9:01. There are no changes in tonight's twin trifecta with a nice carryover of over $22,000. Top down, Crown Time Patriot third. Joshua's Legacy the winner. Night Manager sixth. Star of Score second. Flashy Message scratched. She's a Royal Fitch scratched. Oaklawn Carrot fourth. Hilltoppers Grace fifth. 316, 2 scratch, scratch 4 5. The mile was 1:59 and 3. Show extraordinaire Cathay McDonald. Number 1 is Samples Seconds. Leased by Sean Barker, Dave Hawk drives. 2 is Noble Jamie, owned by Ken Bradley Bell with Jody Essig. 3 Blitzen Wars, owned by Susan Fote with Darren Mauser. 4 Pocket Light, owned by the Horner Racing Stables and Robert Kirk with Don Feaster aboard. 5 is Rut Row, owned by Ayers Ratliff with Dave Rapine. 6 Linda Leebrook, owned by Michelle Whitlock with Larry Binkley. 7 is Amy Ann, owned by Ron Broadstone with Jack Daly. 8 Myoka, owned by Bob Griffith with Sandy Beatty. 9 Shy Amy, owned by Carol Cockrell with Jim Daly. 10 Pats Nicole, owned by Sue Stetson. Richard Flanders will be in the sulky. Field for the 5th, over 22,000, and Scioto Downs welcomes the large group tonight from the Aladdin Temple Shriners. Field for race 5 at the gate and moving through the clubhouse turn. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Myoka on the far outside. Pocket Light with a rush between horses takes the lead. Myoka's up on the outside. Second. Blitzen Wars parked out there. Third. Noble Jamie drives the fourth. Sample seconds on the rail to fifth. She comes to the outside. Pats Nicole drives from the 10 hole. After that, it's Rut Row, Linda Leebrook, Amy Ann, and Shy Amy as they scramble for position and the lead of the opening quarter-mile pole. Myoka's got the top for Sandy Beatty, 28-2 off that top turn, racing past the stands, being sent and sent hard. Myoka's got the top, Big Mile on the outside, Sample second to second, followed by Pocket Light, Flickering in third. Around the clubhouse turn, the Little Mare is next. Blitzen Wars off the rail. Noble Jamie comes to the outside. Underway, Pats Nicole, middle of the racetrack. Around the clubhouse turn, Rut Row, up the rail, Linda Leebrook, and the Amy's Trail. Amy Ann, Shy Amy, and Amy Rayburn, and 58-1. Up the backstretch, 9R hub to hub. Myoka is now on top by a tight length. Sample seconds on the outside. Toward the rail, Pocket Light third. Noble Jamie will have to come 3 wide at some stage. After that, Blitzen Wars is fifth, followed by Pats Nicole to the far outside. Rut Row even further out. The Amy's and along the rail, Linda Leebrook in 128-1. Side by side and stride for stride on the turn. Noble Jamie on the outside now gets the lead. Myoka digs down deep. Pocket Light trying to throw the monkey wrench into this one. Off the turn, in the stretch, they're on their way home. Noble Jamie's got the top. In between horses, Pocket Light. Myoka saving ground, Linda Leebrook. Noble Jamie. Pocket Light is up on the outside. Deep stretch. Noble Jamie tight for second between Linda Leebrook and Pocket Light. 4 Pocket Light was second, 6 Linda Leebrook third, and 7 Amy Ann fourth. In the winner's circle is Noble Jamie, a 4-year-old bay mare by Noble Land Sam out of To Jamie with Love. Owned in Lexington by Ken Bradley Bell, trained by Tommy Smith. Driven tonight by Jody Essig, covering the mile here in 158-1. Lifetime best for 2, Noble Jamie, the winner of the 5th. 14 minutes away at 9:20. Here's the field for tonight's 6th race. Number 1, Goodbye Barney. Owned by Clyde McNabb, driven by Jeff McNabb. 2, Come On Tiger. Owned by Suzanne Northfuss and Jerry Summers with Dan Ader. 3, Henry's Manor has been scratched off the program. 4, Velvet Siren, owned by the Triple Bogey Stable with Del S. Miller. 5, Big Town Dust, owned by William Elza with Jody Essig. 6, Scrappy Eddie, owned by Walter Kaplinger and Jeff Smith. 7 is Glebe, owned and driven by Fred Huff. Number 8, Yosemite Sam, owned by Ken Roebuck, Randy and Marilyn Leopard with Brad Henners. Number 9, Optimism is Board, owned by Jim Arledge and John Rhodes with Jim Daly. 10, It's Showtime, owned by Al Jan Enterprises. Dave Hawk will be in the sulky. Field for the 6th, post time in 6 minutes. Starting gate is underway. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Optimism is Board on the far outside, and this is quite a cavalry charge. We've got about 5 or 6 levers to the first turn. Here comes Glebe with a rush to get the lead. Glebe takes over far outside. Quickly on the rail, Come On Tiger is into second. Driving up on the far outside, Scrappy Eddie to third. This is a total war in here. They're 3 deep to the opening quarter. Come On Tiger gets the quarter call, 27-2. Glebe on the outside is up to challenge. Scrappy Eddie takes back along the rail to third. Big Town Dust moves in to be fourth. Past the stands into fifth. Optimism is Board, followed by Velvet Siren. Goodbye Barney circles up on the outside. It's Showtime and Yosemite Sam around the clubhouse turn to the half-mile pole. Glebe for Fred Huff Jr. bouncing along a length and a half. Come On Tiger is second. Scrappy Eddie with the first flight third, 56-3. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Glebe trying to make every polo when anyone stays there. On his heels in second, Come On Tiger. Goodbye Barney is on the move to third, followed by Scrappy Eddie in fourth. It's Showtime, 3 deep to the far outside to fifth. On the extreme outside, Yosemite Sam, Big Town Dust. After that, as they move into 3/4, Optimism is Board and Velvet Siren. Glebe gets them by there, 126-2. Speeding around the far turn. Glebe bouncing along by a length. Come On Tiger easing off the pile on second. Here comes Scrappy Eddie one more time to third. Freddie Huff draws the sword. Glebe is there by a length and a half. Come On Tiger right alongside in second. Scrappy Eddie in third. Ding-dong battle going here. Glebe is fighting back. Glebe and Come On Tiger. Glebe coast to coast. Result of the 6th is now official. Here comes number 7, Glebe, 3-year-old brown gelding by Nuke's Image out of Neat and Tidy. Owned and trained and driven by Jackson, Ohio's Fred Huff Jr. Covering the mile here in 155-2 to establish a lifetime best. 7, Glebe, the winner. 3 out of 3 in the pick 3, winning numbers 2, 2, 7, $185.20. 7-2 exacta, 31.80. The try, 271 even. Windows are now up and on tonight's 7th race pace, welcoming the Aladdin Temple Shriners. Field of 10, post time in 14 minutes at 9:39. In a field of 10, 1 Crown Time Boulder. Owned by Esther Crownover, driven by Dan Ader. 2 Robo Express, owned by Robert Short and Ron Hughes with Mike Wilder. Number 3 BJ Deere, owned by John Wiley with Ryan Holton. 4 Streakin' Baker, owned by Leonard Buckner and Tom Brinkerhoff, Jim Perry Jr. 5 is Rembrandt's Max. Owned by Jim Chaliff and David Harris in the bike Darren Mauser, 6 Ohio Dare. Owned by Arnold Johnston and Calvin Lamb with David Hawk. Number 7 is Kata, owned by Kim Patterson with Don Feaster. 8 Tucson Al, owned by the Our Little Stable, Alvin and Neil along with Brad Henners. Number 9 is Phantom Fire, owned by Danny Perdue, John Morris, Conrad Boer, and Robert Morris, driven by Kane Kaufman, 10 Soki Prize. Owned and driven by Ewell Binkley. Field for the 7th, 6 minutes till post time. Final turn. Starting gate is underway. In motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing with a rush between horses. Robo Express takes the lead. Driving up on the outside, Rembrandt's Max and Ohio Dare further out there down the backstretch. BJ Deere goes on by a sluggish Crown Time Boulder as they make their way to the first turn. Here comes Kata up on the outside, sixth out of the second tier. Silky Prize the seventh. Streakin' Baker, a Tucson Al will come from off the pace tonight in ninth. 10th and last, it's Phantom Fire. 27-4, they open up here. Moving off that top turn and racing past the stands. It's Ohio Dare on top by 2. Ohio Dare, Robo Express is in there second. Rembrandt's Max is third. BJ Deere comes to the outside fourth. Crown Time Boulder. After that, it's Kata moving up on the outside. Streakin' Baker, the 10. Silky Prize, Tucson L. And at the end, it's Phantom Fire. Action brewing from mid-pack as BJ Deere starts the train. They're at the half in a slow 59. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. Ohio Dare continues to lead the way. BJ Deere surfaces to second, followed by a Robo Express in the pylons third. Crown Time Boulder out and moving to fourth. Rembrandt's Max saving ground to fifth. After that, Kata in sixth. Streakin' Baker, the long shot, seventh. Followed up on the outside by Tucson Al, 3 wide to eighth. Silky Prize is ninth. Phantom Fire 10th on the outside, 128-2. Side by side and stride for stride on the turn. Ohio Dare continues to lead. BJ Deere alongside second. Mike Weller's got a midfield with the Robo Express. They're into the stretch. Ohio Dare brings him home. Ohio Dare, Robo Express. Rembrandt's Max comes up the passing lane. Crown Time Boulder on the far outside with Tucson Al. Ohio Dare and the battles for the rest. Here's the unofficial winner of tonight's 7th race, 6 Ohio Dare. Ohio Dare, 3-year-old bay gelding by Daria 2 out of Tabitha Brett. Owned by Arnold Johnston and Calvin Lamb of Delaware and Marion. Trained by Arnold Johnston. Driven tonight coast to coast by Dave Hawk. Covering the mile here in 157-4. Lifetime best for 6 Ohio Dare, the unofficial winner. Number 2, Robo Express was second. 1, Crown Time Boulder third. Number 8, Tucson Al was fourth. Result of the 7th race, now official. We'll have the result of the twin try in just a moment. They hit it $27,857.30. $27,857.30. 6-2 exact, the $57.80. The regular try, $263.60. Tonight we'd like to welcome the Aladdin Temple Shriners to Scioto Downs. Kata 7th, Tucson L 4th. Trophy by AGA Gas and Lincoln Electric. 1, Mercer Lane Lil Guide. Owned by Derek Peterman with Dave Hawk. 2, Drop Zone, owned by Doug Pfeiffer with Terry Thompson Jr. Number 3, Little Guy Colby, owned by Keith and Donna Ross with Bob Harper. 4, Juarez Hanover, owned by Don and Carol Lehman. Del S. Miller will be aboard. Number 5 is Gray Guy, owned by Charlie Meyer with Dave Stratton in the bike. 6, Crown Time Tucker, owned by Esther Crownover with Dan Ader. Number 7 is Pack a Punch, owned by Edwin Cook with Richard Cook. 8 is Our Star Lane, owned by Leonard Buckner with Jim Perry. Number 9, Bam Bam and Pebbles, owned by David Franklin with Jody Essig. Number 10, Tour de Regent, owned by Dan Korfman, Charles Korfman. Dan Korfman will be in the sulky. Field for the 8th, post time in less than 6 minutes. Field is now in motion, and there they go. They're off and pacing. Drop Zone takes the lead. Crown Time Tucker rushing up on the outside. The 5 makes a nasty break. The 5, Gray Guy, off stride. Everybody clears the breaker, but he's quickly settled back in. midway on the opening turn. Crown Time Tucker by a length and a half. Here comes Juarez Hanover driving up on the outside. Second, Drop Zone gets that Wesley Snipes journey to third as they move by the opening quarter in 27-3. Speeding past the stands from the outside. Juarez Hanover's there by 2, followed by Crown Time Tucker in second. Drop Zone to third. Little Guy Colby fourth. Pack a Punch on the outside fifth. Mercer Lane, Lil Guy comes off the rail from sixth. Tour de Regen is along the rail in seventh. Moving up on the outside, Our Star Lane eighth. Ninth on the outside, Bam Bam and Pebbles. Gray Guys trailing on the rail there at the half-mile station. 57-1, field of 10 straightens out down the backstretch. Juarez Hanover saying Tijuana Dance is there by 2. Crown Time Tucker the Stalker in second. Drop Zone flying high to the outside third. Little Guy Kobe flushed him for live cover. Moving out from between horses, Mercer Lane, Lil Guy. Our Star Lane moves to the overland route. Pack a Punch along the rail. After that, it's Tour de Regent. Ranging up on the outside, Bam Bam and Pebbles. Fred, Wilma, Betty, and Barney, they're all there. And at the end, Gray Guy, 126-4. Speeding around the far turn. From the outside, here comes Crown Time Tucker. Up the challenge, Juarez Hanover. Drivers to the whip, and here, Juarez is all in. Crown Time Tucker is in the center. Bob Harper says, good night, boys. Lil Guy Colby now gets the lead and draws clear. Lil Guy Colby tight for second between Crown Time Tucker, Mercer Lane, Lil Guy. And Bell Fountain by Keith and Donna Ross. Trained by Ron Potter, given a well-judged and timely drive by Bob Harper. Covering that mile in 1:56-1. 3, Lil Guy Colby, the unofficial winner. He's in the winner's circle to meet and greet the large contingent from AGA Gas and Lincoln Electric. One is Barron's Carrier, owned by Sarah Rader, driven by Scott Mogan. 2, Two-Bit Die Job, owned by Charles Autry with Brad Hanners. 3, Grand Premier, owned by Charles Hurst with Larry Binkley. 4, Beeler Hanover, owned by Edwin Cook with Richard Cook. 5, Superior Society, owned by Lisa Fuller with Frenchie Fuller. 6 is Aggravate, owned by the Golden Blaze Farm with Dan Ader. 7 is Mountain Elvin, owned by Rhonda Stidham and Troy Stidham. Rocky Stidham drives. 8 is Broadway's Celebrity, owned by Eric Must. Jody Essig is in the sulky. Field for the 9th, exact and trifecta wagering, 6 minutes till post. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Two-Bit Die Job takes the lead. Superior Society between horses. Barron's Carrier on the move from the rail in third. They're down the backstretch. Grand Premier, the Old Man, Beeler Hanover up on the outside. Aggravate. Broadway Celebrity, and the trailer is Mountain Alvin. Speeding to the quarter-mile pole. Outwinging early on. Two-Bit Die Job. Superior Society's going to get some fresh air tonight as they move by this opening quarter in a quick 27-4. They're off that top turn, too deep past the stands. Superior Society is up on the outside. A little bit rough and jumping off stride inside the pylons. Grand Premier. Under the finish line the first time, Two-Bit Die Job is being chased down. Every step by Superior Society. Licking his chops right now, Barron's Carrier in the third. He's got the no excuse journey. After that comes the hard-hitting 12-year-old Beeler Hanover. From the outside, Aggravate, the favorite, Broadway Celebrity. Mountain Alvin and the Chipmunks will move with him. Lots of confusion in behind. We'll sort this one out later. They're at the half. 57-3. They're down the backstretch. Two-Bit Die Job has now got the lead by about 5 lengths. Aggravate picks up the chase second. Barron's Carrier can't go on third. Broadway Celebrity's got a lot of work to do as Brad Hanners is out winging with Two-Bit Die Job in 126-3. Moving around the far turn, Two-Bit Die Job. Aggravate picks up the chase second. The 8's not out of it yet. Here comes Mountain Elvin and the Chipmunks. 4 deep inside the final 8th. Brad Hanners all over the tiring pace setter. Broadway Celebrity is next. Mountain Elvin flying down the middle of the racetrack. Ding-dong battle here. Two-Bit Die Job, Broadway Celebrity, Mountain Elvin. Two-Bit Die Job holds. Here's the field for tonight's 10th and final. Kathy McDonald brings him out tonight. Chris Fout will bring him out for the weekend. 1 turn him over. Owned by Kirk Nichols, driven by Jim Daly. 2 is scratched. 3 Rembrandt's Jessica, owned by Jim Chaliff and Michael Van Autry with Jack Daly. 4 Scoreboard Patty, owned by Milton Wilkinson with Mark Klotz aboard. 5 is Emma W., owned by Joseph Schwartz and James Sparks, driver change Brad Hanners. 6 Gorgeous Babe, owned by Vicki McNabb and Dorothy Gay with Jeff McNabb. Number 7 is Lake Hills Jerry, owned by Ronald Hughes and Selden Ledford with Mike Wilder. 8 is Mileage Unlimited, owned by John Tatham, driver change Larry Binkley. Number 9, Candy Falcon, owned by Vicky Ladiar with Darren Melzer. 10, Madam Gay, owned by Dan Kyle and Earl Ader. Dan Ader will be in the sulky. Field for the 10th, scratch the 2. Final race pacers are at the gate. Field is in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Lake Hills Jerry on the far outside. Turn him over on the rail. Followed out by Rembrandt's Jessica. Out of the second tier, Madam Gay 4th. Scoreboard Petty between horses 5th. Emma W. is next. Up on the outside comes Candy Falcon. As they move into the quarter-mile pole, Gorgeous Babe and Mileage Unlimited. And seating arrangements are complete. Driving away on top, Lake Hills Jerry, even money favorite. She's got him by the opening quarter in. Kind of a soft 29 seconds flat, racing past the stands to the half-mile pole. Lake Hills Jerry under Mike Wilder, bouncing along with a 2-length lead. Turn him over on her heels in second past the stands. Rembrandt's Jessica to 3rd. Madam Gay 4th. Scoreboard Patty is 5th. Candy Falcon is on the attack. Driving up on the outside, Gorgeous Babe as they swing around that top turn. Emma W. is next. The trailer remains Mileage Unlimited. Reaching the half-mile pole, 59-2, side by side and stride for stride. Racing down the back stretch. 3 parts of a length for the every step pace setter, Lake Hills Jerry. Rembrandt's Jessica moves up on the outside. Turn him over is along the rail. Madam Gay charging up on the outside. The other long shots better pick it up. As they move into 3/4, Candy Falcon is 5th. Nowhere to go, Scoreboard Patty in 6th. Gorgeous Babe gets the Wayne World's Journey on the outside. In between horses, Mileage Unlimited and Emma W. by 3/4 in 1:28-3. Around the far turn. Bouncing right along, Lake Hills Jerry. Rembrandt's Jessica giving way in the center. Turn him over is going to be a big factor. Madam Gay is jumped off stride. Racing through the stretch. Lake Hills Jerry. Turn him over. Rembrandt's Jessica's up on the outside. We'll call it as Lake Hills Jerry. Turn him over. Rembrandt's Jessica 5. Emma W. got up 4th. Here's Lake Hills Jerry, 5-year-old bay mare by Armbro Wolf out of Lake Hills Bobo, bred in Illinois. Now owned in Tip City and Lebanon, Ohio by Ronald Hughes and the trainer Selden Ledford. Driven coast to coast by Mike Wilder. Covering the mile here in 1:58-4. Number 7, Lake Hills Jerry, the winner. Exacta 37.20. 3 out of 3 in the pick 3, $88.60. Winning numbers 3 with 2 and 7. We'll have the super here in a minute. It's paying 5 and change.